Kia ora team, Noel Willoff here, host of the Beyond the Surface podcast. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode with Messie. Really appreciate it. The biggest thing that you guys could do if you are enjoying our content and you'd like to support the show is to check out our sponsor for the podcast, which is Moana Road. Moana Road are a local business. They hail from Aoteaora, just like our podcast. They're the original wooden arm sunnies company, and they've got a whole range of epic products on their website. So make sure you check them out at moanaroad.co.nz and tell them the podcast sent you. Welcome to episode number 36. Tessa, aka Messie, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for jumping on. I just want to start by saying, congratulations. This is such a crazy couple of weeks that you've had. But I want to really start the podcast and the episode around how much your life has changed over these last 2 weeks. So yeah, what has changed?
Literally everything has changed. Just my whole day to day. The followers just skyrocketed.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, just kind of everything. But it's all been what I've always worked towards, and it's kind of just come true and just kind of overnight almost. But yeah, it's been a full-on 2 weeks. Just insane. I'm honestly probably going to struggle to talk about everything and articulate it because the whole thing has just taken me back.
Yeah.
And I'm just I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what just happened. So, but yeah, it's just everything's changed really.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So, and for people who aren't aware or familiar, you had the opportunity to open for Fred again in New Zealand and absolutely blew him away with how talented you are. I'm keen to get into that gig shortly. And then had the opportunity to go into Perth and help open his Perth show in front of 35,000 people, which is just nuts. When I say that to you, does that even, it obviously has happened, but does that feel real to you or like a dream?
Yeah, I kind of, going into it, I knew it was going to just be a dream, and everyone was saying to me, make sure you're taking it in and being present in the moment and stuff like that. And I really tried to do that. I was going to do that regardless, but yeah, I was just trying to take it in the whole time. But it honestly just looked like a movie. It just didn't look real. That I don't know, it was really hard to fathom, but yeah, it still feels like a dream. I'm just readjusting to normal life again is kind of crazy because it's I'll just think about it and be holy shit, did that just happen? I don't know.
Super crazy. And so I'm really keen just to start from the start. So if we can sort of start the story around the day which Fred again sort of arrives into Wellington, because I understand that you were also playing a gig on that same night where he was performing at Waitangi Park in Wellington. So yeah, talk us through, I guess, what the sort of circumstances look like leading up to Fred again's first show in Wellington.
Yeah, so I knew someone that was working for the event, and they'd let me know the date that they were coming. They probably shouldn't have, but they told me that he was going to be there on the 22nd, and I knew I had a slot at B Space that night, which is just club in Welly, one of my definitely my favorite club, and I had the peak slot of 12 till 2, and I was oh damn, at first I was no one's gonna come because they're all gonna be at Fred again.
True.
Then I asked that person what time the show would be ending, and I think they said it was 10:30 or something. I was wait a minute,
kick-ons.
Perfect kick-ons. So as soon as that was in my brain, I was this is happening. I don't know. It was I feel every time an artist comes to New Zealand that I really admire, that there's something in my soul that is you're just near me, and this is gonna happen. When Sammy Virgie came, I didn't get to see him, but I ended up just staying at Meow for ages. One night, no one was even there. I just stayed there just cause. And then he just shows up, and then I got to meet him. And I've had that feeling with lots of people that come to New Zealand. I was just I don't know what it is. like, I don't know, just this energy that I just like need to do it. So when the tickets came out and I didn't get a ticket, I was just like, I was gutted. And I actually put on my story, on my close friends, like, it's actually criminal. I didn't get Fred again tickets. Best believe I'm gonna like make it there and play a set afterwards and stuff. Yeah, and I've still got that like screenshots.
Frame that.
Yeah, it's funny as. But yeah, as soon as I like realized that they kind of do little pop-up gigs and everything like that, I was like, I just DM'd Fred and Joy Anonymous, who was opening for Fred, or just like his support, and was like, okay, hear me out. I'm playing at this club 12 till 2. We should go back to back. Fred's played here before. He knows the club. It's the only place to be in Wellington. Like, it's the only kind of club with that vibe. And of course, Fred didn't reply, but Joy Anonymous opened it. And they were like, hey, sounds fun. And I just kind of like, as soon as I was like in there, I was like, okay, I'm just going to like pitch this, just shoot my shot. And then, yeah, he was saying he was pretty keen. And then the next day was the Maranui pop-up that they did. And just like off chance, just happened to see his story, and then just was like at the supermarket, I was like, oh, I'll just pull around and see if anyone's actually there. And there was like 70 people, I think, already there. It was like 5 minutes ago that he posted. And then just jumped in the line. I was like in my gym gear. I was hungry. I needed to like, I was just like, I'll just like see what happens. And then ended up being like 100 of us that got to go up. And I just kind of was by myself, just got to the front and met Hen and Lou and just like gave them a handshake. It was like, this is us tomorrow night, you know, just kind of like getting it in there. And then they were like, yo, good to meet you and everything like that. And then I went to the Fred show, ended up paying $250 for a ticket. But then at the Maranui gig, he gave away like free tickets to everyone that was there.
Unreal.
So I was like going to give that to my friends, but then my friends didn't end up coming. So I was trying to sell it last minute. No one wanted to buy it. I was literally like outside of Waitangi Park, just being like, does anyone want a free ticket? Or like, does anyone want a ticket? No one was budging. And then I ended up like offering like, anyone want a free ticket, and no one wanted it.
What?
And, yeah,
that's
I was
crazy.
Like, yeah, I don't know. Like,
if you looked on like Facebook, every man and their dog would like sell their left arm to get a ticket.
Literally. But I think it was just because it was like happening then and there, like, and also everyone was in like groups and stuff like that, and with their partners or whatever. So no one wanted to leave their mates. So I was like, anyone want one? And then maybe 2 minutes later, this kid just walks past and he's like, oh, free ticket. And I was like, yep, let's go. And then I just gave away the ticket.
True.
And we just go in, and then I got his number, just being like, oh, if you don't have to transfer me, but if you want to, because he was offering. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like funny just looking back on that, because he ended up texting me like after everything happened, and he was like, oh my God, you're the girl that gave me the ticket. Like, I was like, yeah, what do you think about it? And he was like, karma.
Yeah.
Just karma.
Yeah, true.
And yeah, it's kind of, like just crazy how that happened. And then, yeah, so anyway, back to Friday night after the gig. I'm in the DMs to Joy Anonymous, like, surely, like, gotta come through. And then he was like, yep, I'm keen. And luckily, like, everyone thought that Fred was going to pop up at B Space regardless. So everyone just came, like, 10 o'clock. The line was already packed. And it just opened. And, yeah, and then Henry and Theo, who's Theo's photographer for Fred, and he DJs as well, they came and we did it back-to-back, and it was packed, went crazy, and they were just so lovely. And Henry was like, you're booked, like, you're hired. And I was like, oh my God, what does that mean? And he's like, this is just so good. And they were like spinning all my, like, rewinding all my tracks and stuff like that. Like, the vibes were just off the charts.
Sorry, who's Henry?
Hen's from Joy Anonymous. He's like the
okay, that's his name.
big Hen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's like 7 foot, and I had to like stand on this box, and I still look tiny next to him. But it was so fun, and I played one of my bootlegs there, and they were like, the next day they were like, send us this track. And it was just insane. And I ended up having a DJ another like for the 4 hours at that club because the last person didn't come through just because they were sick. And then I just walked home at like 4 a.m. by myself and was like, damn, like, I don't know. I just felt like the universe shifting. I can't explain it. I just sat on this park bench by myself after all that happened and was like, this is crazy and something's going on. Like, I just felt it. And next day, Cuba next day, Cuba. It was just like hanging out with mates, and then I'm in the kebab shop. And sorry, this is like such a long story
No, this
to
is
get
great.
to where
Keep
we
going.
are. I'm in the kebab shop, and then I'm just like buying my kebab, and then
Yes, you do.
Yeah, and then I just look down at my phone and see Fred again starts following you, and I was just like,
what?
I just started hyper. I was just like, holy shit, oh my god! I just get on the floor, I'm like squatting, and I'm like, what's going on?
Are you by yourself at this point?
No, I was with my girlfriend, so we were just like freaking out. Actually, before this on Sunday, we woke up and I was just still like geeking out over the B Space gig. But my friend had sent me Fred's story saying we're looking for Auckland, Hamilton, Tauranga local DJs, and you can sign up here. And I just signed up and didn't think much of it. And I said to my girlfriend, I was like, I don't think it'll happen because I don't want it bad enough, and I've already had my moment. But like it would be sick. And then just thought nothing of it. And then he started following me, and I was like, oh my god, it's gonna happen.
So that Friday,
Yeah.
did that happen from Instagramming Joy Anonymous?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he showed up to that gig on the Friday because of that Instagram.
Yeah.
And it sort of went from there. So he obviously told Fred again about you. Is that how?
I don't think he did. So once I put in that form, I was talking to like Fred's management and everything, and apparently, so there was this guy on Astral People that was meant to go through all the mixes and pick like 3 of them that he really liked and pass them on to Fred. And then so Fred played mine, and he was a big fan of it. And then that's when the Joy Boys were like, hold up, we played a gig with her on Friday night.
All right. So they hadn't even made the connection until afterwards.
Yeah. So it was like pure coincidence, both of the things. And then they just lined it up. And then as soon as Fred was like, oh, like maybe everyone was just like, no, it has to be Messie. And then, I guess like the Joy Boys like advocated for me hard or something. I don't know. But they had like, we had such a good time on Friday. I'm sure they put in a good word. Yeah, and then,
Can I ask what was in your application? Like, what did that look like? I remember him saying in his story here, there's like a link to like a Google Drive.
Form,
Google form. Like, what did you put in there? Do you have to sort of sell yourself, or was it just mixes?
You had to put in like where you're from and all those details. But you also had to upload a mix, which I just had one. My latest one was from September last year. Sorry. Latest one was from September last year. So it is old. I was surprised that they liked it. And there was also like a little section like, tell us anything else that you want. And I think I just put in that like, would be an honor to open for you guys. Was lucky enough to get to DJ with Joy Anonymous on Friday. So totally understand if you don't pick me. I did like a
Kiwi,
really short,
doing like a sort of like, I don't know, imposter syndrome.
Oh,
like, it's all good if you don't pick me, but
No.
it would be cool.
Yeah, it was pretty much that in like a super short paragraph. Just like, I would definitely like, I would be so honored, but I get it. Like, such a Kiwi thing.
Was it a big paragraph that you had to write, or was it pretty short?
No, it was pretty short. It was like maybe 3 sentences.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't want to just like sell myself and pitch it because I don't know. I felt like I already had my moment at that point, and I was content with that.
Yeah, right.
But and then they just like liked it, and then Fred DM'd me saying like.
So you're at the kebab shop.
Yeah.
He follows you on Instagram, and then he DMs you from there.
Yeah.
Did you sort of know when you got followed by Fred again on Instagram at the kebab shop? Did you sort of understand what might be falling into place?
Nah, not really. I was just confused and I knew something was about to happen. Because generally, like, someone starts following you because they search you up and everything. So, yeah, it took him like 20 minutes from following me to DMing me. So I was just like, what's going on? Like, I messaged all of my friends. I sent in the group chat, like, guys, group emergency. Everyone starts FaceTiming me and like, yeah, and then I get the DM from Fred just asking if I'd be keen to open for him at the Coroglen Tavern, and if I can like make it up to Auckland the next day, saying that they'll book flights and everything. And then yeah, we were just like shaking. We drove to our mate's place where there's like 10 of them living. We just like screaming on the street and walk in, and everyone's like, it was just a crazy moment. And yeah, I'll never forget it. And we were just so psyched. It was just insane. And immediately just was like, message everyone I know, like, if you can make it, you can come for free. Like, I need you all here. This is going to be insane. Yeah, the hype was crazy. Like, we couldn't sleep. Yeah, like, I definitely didn't. I probably only had like 1 hour of sleep before the flight because we were just so excited. Yeah.
So did you fly up? Because the Coroglen Tavern is up in the Coromandel. So did you fly up there?
Yeah, so we flew up to Auckland at like 10 the next morning and then got picked
fast
up.
turnaround day the next morning.
Crazy.
So this happened on the Sunday when you got notified,
Yeah.
and then you're flying up there on the Monday.
Yeah, like Sunday night at like 10 o'clock, and then I'm flying up there at like 10 the next morning. And yeah, we got picked up in a van by their media team, and we all just drove out together and got to know them all. They're super, super lovely. We had some great chats. And yeah, just like, it happened so fast. And my friends, there was like 6 of them or something. They drove up at 6 in the morning the next day. After finding out at like 10 a.m. or 10 p.m., they're driving up at 6 a.m., 8 hours. As soon as I get out the car, we're like out there. And it was just like crazy. Just crazy getting to see them all in one place and knowing what was about to happen. But everyone was just so excited, and it was like an 8-hour drive. And then they go back the next day, drive back 8 hours, like 16 hours of driving just to see that. They're the best.
Unreal. Shout out to your mates.
Shout out to my mates, for real.
They're awesome. Incredible. So you land up in Auckland on the Monday. You get picked up by Fred again, sort of media team. Does he have a pretty big like operation behind him?
Nah, not really. I think there's probably a team of like 10 of them or something, but they're all genuinely so, so lovely. They were all just so considerate and just generous, so calm. Every time I was a bit nervous just because it was like the first, it was just crazy. But anytime I'd like express any of that, they'd be like, you're just going to have fun, like it'll be fine. And I was like, yeah, actually, like I do this all the time. I'm always playing gigs. It's the same thing, and I'm just gonna bring it. And I guess I did. And he enjoyed it. Like, I was just like prepared to let loose. Yeah.
Talk us through the drive over to the Coroglen Tavern.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you first meet Fred again.
Yeah, the drive was so fun. Like, yeah, one of the media girlies, we're the mates that I brought, we're all just like welly queer people, and just like we were talking to one of Caitlin, her name is, she's like just telling us about how in London, like the queer scene over there. So we were just talking about like overseas and everything, talking about how she met Fred, and just like hitting it off, because like I feel like in the queer community, as soon as you kind of clock someone else's like swings that way, you're like, oh, okay, like we got some like deep diving to do.
Man.
And it's just like the best yarns. I love having those conversations, and we were just psyched, and it was good because I didn't really have reception, so I couldn't see like all of the DMs and everything just flooding in, and the media contacting me and stuff like that. So it was good. I could just have a clear head. And yeah, and then so I got there, took like like maybe an hour until Fred showed up. And as soon as I was
The
just kind of
anticipation,
like,
Is Fred here?
yeah, he just comes in this car and like just gives his whole team hugs. And I'm just kind of like standing at the back, like, like I don't know if I should go up to him. But of course, like I did. And he was just like, "Hello, darling."
Hello, darling.
Yeah, literally.
Really proper.
Yeah, gave me a massive hug, and he was like, "Messie," and all this stuff. And he was like, "How are you feeling?" I said, "I'm okay. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm okay. Just kind of like scared I'm not going to be tall enough because they're both like so tall."
Yeah, how tall is he?
Oh, he's like Fred's probably like 6'4" or
True,
something.
yeah, that is serious height.
Oh wait, maybe he's like 6'2" or something.
True.
But Hen is like 7 foot, so standing next to them, I just felt so little. And then he was like, "Is there anything I can do to make you feel more comfortable?" And I was like, "No, we can do like a mini sound check, but I'm all good." He was just asking me how long I've been DJing, and told him I played the drums and everything. And he was like, "Oh, I started as a drummer as well." And yeah, we got interrupted, but then when we went and sound checked and stuff, I had like some little techie questions, and he was just so happy to answer, and not in like any kind of condescending way, of course. He was just happy to let me know what was going on and make me feel as comfortable as possible, which was just really eased my nerves because I thought I'd be a bit starstruck. But after that, I immediately felt like this guy's good, and he's gonna, like, if anything goes wrong, he's gonna like reassure me, or anyone's gonna reassure me, and it'll be fine, and I trust it.
He seems like one of those individuals that hasn't really been touched in a bad way by fame and the spotlight that's put on him. And he just seems like such a, when you look at Fred again, he just seems like such a genuine person. And that's so evident through, I guess, the opportunities that he puts in place for different artists like yourself to, have a platform and like start their career in such a huge way. And also just by hanging out with like average, ordinary Joes. Like I saw him at the Welsh Dragon pub in Wellington and just catching up with the Kiwis he met there last year and keeping in touch. It's not like he's got this barrier due to his fame.
Yeah, totally. He really is like the real deal, just genuine, kind guy. And I think that's why his fans are like, they can be so, I don't know, just intense in a way, because it's like you actually could meet him if you tried.
Yeah.
Like you could, if you wanted to go and stalk him, it'd be pretty easy.
I was about to say, you're putting out like a good villain arc here for like a stalker.
Yeah, literally. You could go and meet him if you wanted to, and it just kind of like ups the demand in a way, because it's like, oh, you're not that out of reach.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, it's really interesting the way he goes about it, but props to him, because I think at the end of it all, I if I was to do that, which I would do the same thing, because I just love just like interacting with humans, just getting the chance to like talk to a stranger. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
And I think he values that same thing and that human connection. And like, especially after everything, that's been the main thing that's inspired me most. Just like being a genuine, generous, kind human gets you anywhere you want, really.
100%. Is that accessibility and like giving back, paying forward?
Yeah.
Because there's so many people that reach those positions of power and influence and just keeps that to themselves. But man, to see different artists, creating a platform for others, like that's how you build even more like Fred Agains and more Messies and more amazing musicians.
Exactly.
That's super cool. Okay, so you're doing this sound check. You're like right next to the man himself, the GOAT. You ask him sort of technical questions. What sort of happens there from then the gig? And how many people were at the capacity at the Tavern gig? Was it like 3,000, 4,000 or more?
No, I think it was like somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000.
True.
Yeah, so like on Saturday I played Cuba Duper and it was maybe 400 people, but that felt real big to me. And I don't know, it was just like, I just treated it like a local gig. And it was just fun, eh? Like I just treated it exactly the same, just kind of went probably a bit crazier because the adrenaline was so high. But yeah, I don't know, it went super well. Apparently it was like the longest he's ever stayed out and watched a support act. Usually just kind of hears what the locals, what they've got to give, and then just like goes and cools down before he has to go out. But he was like, I've seen lots of videos and stuff, and he was just in the back like, yeah, like vibing out. And it's just so crazy to watch. But it's so cute. Like, he was just cheering along. And yeah, I don't know.
When did you realize you were crushing it? When did you realize you like, because I've seen the videos and you were just in like flow state, had like the crowd at the palm of your hand. Like, when was that moment where you're like, fuck, this is on?
I think, well, when I started my set, I've got this like silly little intro that I just came up with like the Friday of, the 2 days before. It's like Northwest. She's on Kanye West's new album, and she's just singing this. She's just singing, and she just says this line where she says, "It's gonna get messy," and I just loop that over and over. So everyone's starting to yell, "Messie, Messie,"
Man.
and then he's like clocks it, and he's like, "Wait, I can." Yeah, there's like videos of him being like, "Oh shit," and then yeah, just kind of like, I think that was a good indicator for him to be like, okay, like, let me see what she's got. And then there's this one track I played. There's this one specific track. I can't remember the actual name of the song. It's like the yeah, that one. But it's like overlaid with like my neck, my back. So it's just like, and then I don't know. I think from there, I've seen like videos from his team and stuff, and it's like the moment we all fell in love with Messie, and it's that track, and it just goes so hard. And I feel like from that point, everyone was kind of in it. That was probably like 5 minutes in, and then everyone was just in it for the whole set, and I was just so excited. Just like got my mates up, asked beforehand if they could come up. And I feel like when I've got people dancing behind me, it just like amps the energy up so hard and makes me feel like so confident and comfortable to just go crazy, because at least like they're doing it with me.
Yeah.
And we're just all in it together, and it's just great energy. Yeah.
Unreal. That's so cool. And just to have like your homies and Fred again behind you, and like all of his support crew just vibing out. That's like something off a movie, eh?
As good as it ever gets. Yeah.
So you obviously finish the set, and so Fred again comes up to you and says, basically invites you to go over to Perth, or says that this isn't the sort of end of us working together. What was that conversation like?
Yeah, so as soon as I was done and we were still on stage, he just came up to me and was like, gave me a hug and was like, "This is not the last time you'll be playing with me." And I was like, huh? Like, yeah, and it was just crazy. And just left that as it was and finished the whole night. We went backstage and everything, and he came up to me with a camera. I didn't really think much of it because they were just filming the whole time. And was just being like, "That was an amazing set, and we've got another show in Perth. It's the last leg of our tour, and it's going to be about 35,000 people. We're just wondering if you wanted to come." And I was just like, "Yes, I'm down." Like, I just immediately was like, "Yes, I'm keen. I'm in." And then he was like, "Okay, amazing. Like, and we'll get it sorted and everything like that." And I was just trying to keep calm. I hadn't quite registered what that actually meant. And then, yeah, he left, just went and talked to some other people, and I was just on the ground, like, rolling on my back, like, what's going on? And then, we all went, me and my friends went to the bathroom after, and we just started screaming in the bathroom. And then someone from his team was like, this Irish guy, like, I can't do the accent, but he was like, "Did someone get murdered in here?" It's just funny as. But yeah, like, it was just insane. And I didn't really register, like, I'm gonna go overseas. I hadn't been overseas since I was like 5. And then the next morning my friend messaged me and was like, "You know you need a passport, right? Do you have a passport?" I was like, "Oh." No.
Probably need one of those things, to leave the country.
Yeah, just hadn't even thought about it. And then, so I messaged his team and they were like, okay, like we can do this and apply for this. And then I was just going to get onto it. And as soon as that was brought up, my friend in the room was like, oh, that's easy. My friend got a passport in under 24 hours last year. You'll be all good. So I was like immediately reassured. But then when Fred put it on his story, I was like, oh shit, like he wants the drama, like this is going to be a whole thing. So I just kind of went along with it, even though I knew that it was going to happen. Like there was no way I wasn't going to go. I just, as soon as I said I was keen, I was like, this is what's happening and it's all going to be sorted. It's all going to be fine. And just like crazy amount of people reached out, lots of emails, lots of people just being like, my mum works for the DIA.
Yeah.
And that's how it happened.
Honestly, shout out to that lady who sort of sped up the
Maria.
process.
Yeah.
Who's the DCE of, Deputy Chief Executive of DIA.
Yeah.
Like I saw she got a bit of a like slandering in the media, which I just think is like far out. Like, what are we arguing over here? We're arguing about giving like a young lady from Wellington the opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, come on, get over it.
Literally.
So I hope she keeps her job. I know there's
Yeah.
like some independent review going on.
No,
but,
she was awesome. I sent her like an email off the bat, and because there was so many people reaching out, but I just like picked her first to send an email back to, and she sent such a lovely email just to forward it through that she was the one that she was sending to the people above her or something. She was just like, what an amazing opportunity. It'd be great to put New Zealand arts and like a talented young woman on the map, and
100%.
yeah, let's do this. And then it was left with another guy, and then it just went through. But in the meantime, so many people just reaching out, calling me, saying like, hey, I can sort this for you if you give me free tickets for tonight. And I was like,
cheeky.
Dang, okay. It's like that. It was pretty hectic, but I knew it'd be fine. And then within like 4 hours, I get a call saying that I can pick it up from the Wellington office the next day.
How good.
Yeah, told the team. It was easy as, went and picked it up. No stress at all.
Are you like DMing Fred again as well? Being like, I've got the passport.
Oh, I wasn't. Oh, kind of like here and there. He would just like chuck it on his story, and then I'd put it on my story as well. But I would just be in contact with his team mostly. Yeah. Which like they were. Yeah, I sent them. I had to call my mum as well, and because my mum, she's Thai, so I hadn't really informed her what was going on at all.
Does she listen to Fred again?
No, she definitely does not, and neither does my dad. But when I did call him about it, I was like, okay, this is the situation. I've been given this opportunity. And he was like, oh, is this with that Fred again guy? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, I've seen him on the news. And that's the only reason he knows about him. But my mum was like, yeah, there's like a language barrier. So she just did not know what was going on. She wasn't answering her calls. I called her like 20 times being like, Mum, I need my passport from when I was 5 years old. You need to find it. And yeah, I had to call her workplace and everything. Everyone was so stressed. And she's like yelling at me on the phone, like, stop stressing me out. I'm going to find it. And then went home, and the first photo she sent, it's so funny. It's just a photo of my passport, and it was closed, and it just said cancelled. I was like, no, open the passport, send the details of it. And she's like, huh? Like, she was so confused. But yeah, got it back, sent my little baby passport over. And yeah, it was just great. Like, all happened real easily, except for the everything in between. But yeah, don't really know why that was a big deal.
Yeah,
to be honest. But I think New Zealand media just loves a bit of a story.
Loves a bit of drama, eh?
Yeah.
Loves a bit of drama. Well, yeah, we're also stoked that your passport came through.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been a fucking travesty if that didn't happen. So then is the next step for you. Basically, you got your passport sorted. They've booked your like flights, accommodation to get over to Perth.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah. So yeah, they offered like flights and ACOM for me and 4 friends,
That's cool.
And
For friends.
yeah,
Definitely.
so lovely. Like I think they know how much my friends support like grounds me and helps me out. So and it would just be like a bit crazy to send me
Send you
there.
by yourself.
Yeah,
That would be nuts.
yeah, I'd be so in my head. But luckily, the whole thing was so fun. We were just like so excited, just giggling on the plane and everything. And
First class?
nah, not first class, but it's
come on, friend.
okay. Yeah, but there was like a nice Qantas plane, and there was this really nice, kind of like gay uncle vibes. His name was Sean, and he was like, "How are you guys doing? Are you here for Fred?" And then we were like, "Yeah, we are." And then my friend was like, "She's opening for him. Like, this is Messie. You need to know her name and everything." I was like, "Shut up." And then he was like, like, you excited and stuff like that. We had such a good chat with him. And I just ended up being like, "Do you want to come to the show?" And he was like, "Oh, wow, I wasn't even trying to do that, but yes, I'd love to." And then I was like, "Hey, awesome. Like, give me your details." And then from then on, it was just so funny because he started bringing out like wine. He was like, "Any vodka, anything from the front. Do you want ice cream?" Gave us like toiletry bags. And we were just on the plane, like laughing so hard, like, what is going on right now? It was crazy. And yeah, he was just super lovely. And then got off the plane, and I'd been getting so many messages being like, "Heard you're in Perth, come to this party, come to our house, come to a picnic, come to on this boat." And then it was Good Friday. So I was like, oh, so nothing was open, no like alcohol licenses were allowed or whatever.
Stupid rule.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, okay, the only place I wanted to practice my set, just kind of troubleshoot it. And yeah, the only place to do that was this boat party. So hit them up, was like, "Hey, you reckon you could dock the boat and we could jump on?" And they like they docked it, and yeah, we went to this boat party. Really random, like just landed in Perth on a boat. Like it was the stuff that your mum like kind of warns you about. They like just offering us everything, and we were just looking over the skyline, and it was just crazy. And I practiced my set. There was some issues, so went in on the laptop the next day and just kind of like rejig some stuff, and didn't really plan it except for that. But yeah,
Is it the same set from the Coroglen Tavern or a different one?
It was like slightly different. Yeah, it was just, there was a few more little things like I wanted to chuck in a Kylie Minogue remix and stuff just because it's Aussie, and Troye Sivan because he's from Perth. But then, yeah, I think I planned it a bit too long because they said it could be over an hour. And the last time at the tavern, I did an hour and a half just because they wanted me to. So yeah, there was a few songs I missed out, but it was kind of the same, but definitely a bit more high energy. Yeah, it was all the classics though. Like I knew the songs back to front, and it was just like the best that I had. And yeah, I knew as long as I could do everything in my control to make sure it was sorted, that I wouldn't have to feel nervous, and I could just have fun. And I know how to mix, and like I know how to DJ, so like if there's anything wrong, I can just sort it out. Yeah, got a pretty good ear just from doing music for so long, like picking up on stuff. So I was just fully confident that it would go well, and didn't really get nervous at all, which was just super helpful, really.
Crazy. You didn't get nervous with the Perth gig?
Nah, not really. Like, it did set in at one point when we got to the venue, and
you must be able to like hear the crowd and
yeah. No, like that was just cool though. I was like, wow, this is just like nothing else, you know. But when we got to the venue, it was just this massive empty field park thing, and it was huge. And then it kind of set in, and I was like, okay, this is massive. And I got a bit nervous, but then I just started running around in the paddock kind of vibes, like with my friends, and then Fred saw us, and then I was like, "Oh my god, Fred!" And we like ran towards each other and had a hug. It was real nice, and suddenly just like felt calm again. And we had the mini little sound check, and he came up and jammed with me on his keyboard, And I was like, dang, like no matter what happens, this guy is backing me. And yeah, like I don't need anyone's validation because I've got confidence in myself, but to have that is like it's like a powerful thing for your mentality. Yeah.
100%. And did he say anything in particular to you, like before jumping up on stage to maybe alleviate your nerves, or did he have any tips or advice?
He just was like asking me how I was, and I said I'm feeling pretty good. And he was like, yeah, let's just have some fun. And beforehand, he texted me saying, I've got this new Anderson .Paak song that's gonna be coming out soon, and I want you to be the first one to play it to the public. So I got his number and he texted it to me, and yeah, and then he was just kept being like, tonight's gonna be so fun, just can't wait. And I was like, yeah, it's gonna be mean. And I played the song last, and then yeah, so that came and yeah, did the set, and I played that song last, and then he wasn't like up on stage for it, so I was just like, okay, whatever, I'll play it. And
it's
then
my song.
yeah, he like ran up on stage and was like, I just heard this playing from the green room, like, and then just rewinded it, and yeah, and it was just so fun. Oh, it was just so fun, like just the best time ever, just dancing with your mates and Fred again to 35,000 people. Like what? Literally, like what? It's insane.
Unbelievable, man. So fucking awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, incredible. What is Fred again like, I guess, behind the scenes? Because everyone's our sees him from like Instagram, through like different festivals and shows. But yeah, what is he like when cameras aren't on?
Exactly the same. Yeah, just exactly the same. Super, super sweet. Before we left to Wellington, me and my friends organised to get him a ponamu.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because that is something that you gift to someone, and we wanted to gift it to him. So we knew after the show we had to get the team around, and my friend Hallie, she like hand drew all these little cards with like little personalized messages and drawings on it and stuff, and we gave it to the whole team. And my friend Gala did a beautiful mihi, and we gifted it to Fred, and he was just like super, super lovely, like, oh, I don't want to unwrap it the wrong way, and was just super grateful and really interested to hear about like what that meant. And yeah, he was just so lovely. And yeah, we actually blessed it the morning before the flight, and we blessed it outside of Maranui. So
nice.
It was just really special, and like I think doing that made me most emotional out of all of this, because you're meant to just like hold it and give it mana and energy. And like while I was outside of Maranui, I just felt it, and I just felt like so emotional and grateful, and like I just knew it was all going to go to plan. And like yeah, it was really powerful. So giving that to him was just a beautiful moment. He was so lovely. And yeah, when he got back to London the other day, he texted me and was like, hope you guys made it safely. I'm here sat in London with my ponamu, and yeah, asked me to send him some music, and told me that, and asked me when I'm coming to London. So yeah,
let's get you over there. You got your passport now.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's in the cards for sure. But yeah, at the after party as well, that was really fun. All the DJs kind of went back to back in this club, and it was just like crazy energy because everyone was just ready to celebrate the tour being over. But before he left, he gave me some advice and just told me to do me and stick to what I know is me and be myself, and I don't have to change for anyone. And yeah, we just had a nice little heart to heart. But he's honestly exactly like what you'd think, just top level legend. Yeah,
shout out, that's awesome. And I think that advice he gave you around just be you, I think that's how, from what it looks like, that's how he's got to where he is today. Like he's not fitting the mold of any other sort of DJ in the mainstream. He's he's himself, and that's what people are like that's what people gravitate towards.
Yeah.
So yeah, I reckon he's a subtle like marketing genius as well, with how he
Yeah.
has his engagements with fans.
I think he did study marketing.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got it all.
Yeah, that is incredible. Well, what does that do to your career as well, Messie, as a upcoming, well, not even upcoming anymore, as as a DJ artist in New Zealand? What does that opportunity mean for you next?
Yeah, I think, well, lots of people have messaged me and reached out. There's been lots of emails and offers and stuff, and I'm trying to just go about it in the best way. Like someone described it today, like every move is like a chess move, but also not, like you're meant to have fun and just like enjoy the ride and stuff. But I am trying to go about this all in a way that's going to be sustainable and long lasting, that
Totally.
I can just have a full length career, because that's always been the dream. And now I've just been given like a hand up, really. The best opportunity you could ever have.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
In the world.
The biggest DJ just being like, come here, lifting you up. Like, yeah, I'm definitely not taking it for granted, and I'm ready to work, and I'm super, super grateful above all. Yeah, still doesn't feel real, but definitely like a long lasting career is the next move for my life.
And did that give you a taste of, I guess, what you can expect further down the track, like playing in front of those crowds and being around those sort of people?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'm definitely wary of how the industry can be, just even like within local things. But knowing that knowing that I've done that, it's kind of just like, if I can do that, you can do anything. And anyone can do anything. But yeah, knowing within myself that like any challenge I can accept, that I want to accept, I can just do it, and know that I've done, like, nothing's going to be as scary as that.
Yeah,
I think
100%. It's validation, eh?
Yeah. But the fact I didn't feel nervous, like, I totally was ready to have a horrible pit in my stomach, because I kind of had that before Coroglen. But I just didn't. I was just so like happy. Having my mates was a huge lifesaver. Just made me feel so calm. My friend Nick that I brought, he led a nice little meditation before I went out, and the whole team and the photographers and stuff, we all meditated, and it just like, I just felt so grounded. I made sure to bring people that were patient, were going to be professional in that crazy environment, and just going to be good vibes overall. And like, it literally went perfect. It went better than perfect. Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. What would you say you've like if there were like top 2 or top 3 things that you've learned from Fred again, from this experience, and how you can adapt that either to yourself personally or your career, what would those things be?
Definitely backing yourself. So many times I would kind of just look to the guys or Hen or whoever, just not for validation or anything, but they just would validate me, and they'd be like, these are all yours. They're all backing you, everyone here. And even at the club and B Space, they were like, just believe in yourself. You've got it. Like, you know what you're doing. You know you're going to smash it. And now that I've done that, I do like fully trust myself that I am good at what I've always done, like in terms of DJing. And yeah, believing in myself. Yeah, especially in New Zealand, it's like tall Bobby syndrome. It's like it'll get you. But but no, I feel a lot more confident after that, just in terms of doing the job I've been hired to do. And then, yeah, like just doing you, being confident in yourself to just do you, like I said earlier. And yeah, the number one thing I think that I've taken away is being a good, genuine person. It'll get you anywhere that you want to go. As long as you're like, you can take it in your stride and be confident while doing it. But as long as you're grateful and you remember the people that are truly there, that have your best interests and ready to support you, I think that's the way to do it. And I think he does that with excellence, and that's always what I've done. Even locally, always chuck up like a story post the next day after a gig, being like, "Thank you, everyone, for coming," because like I'll get lots of messages like just before this happened, just saying like your set was insane and everything. So it's definitely important to show your gratitude where you can, and yeah, like it takes zero effort to be a nice person. It's so much effort to be like, you don't have to do that.
Totally.
I think people don't realize that you actually don't have to be a dick. It doesn't make you more exclusive than anyone else. If anything, word gets around super fast, and yeah, you don't have to be that way. It takes no money to be a nice person.
That's
seriously.
right. Yeah, and no one ever wants to do business with a dickhead as well. Like,
exactly.
you want to do your dealings with good individuals and good humans. When you look at, like, I think when I'm looking at your story, Tessa, I see you as like a real opportunity taker.
Yeah.
Like just having the self-confidence and almost like manifesting in your head how you felt that you would almost make this happen before it happened. I just want to know, like, has that been something which you've always sort of been like? Have you always sort of taken those risks before, or is that part of your character?
Yeah, I think, well, I've been telling, lots of my friends have been like, oh, because there's so many places to start. That story post I made originally on my close friends being like, it's criminal, I didn't get a ticket. Like, I put on my story, I'm gonna manifest that this is gonna happen. I'm putting this in the universe so I don't flop. Just to my friends and stuff. And then throughout this all happening, I kept updating my close friends, just being like, big ups manifestation. But honestly, I think something that's always inspired me have you heard of the YouTube Yes Theory? The
No.
YouTube channel? Oh, you gotta check it out. Yes Theory.
Yes Theory, I'll write it down.
They're just like beautiful humans, and oh my god, their saying is seek discomfort. And literally they just make crazy videos and just go to places all over the world and meet people and take new experiences and do everything just for the sake of doing it, just for the sake of you're being given a life, and you might as well just take every opportunity you can to gain something from it, whether that's an experience or whether that's just talking to a stranger and learning more about their life or getting knowledge in some area or whatever. And I've always just been like, why not? Like, yes to everything that I can. And yeah, growing up, I've always been pretty ambitious and I've got a lot of passions. Like, I've always played football, hence Messie.
True. I was going to ask you where that comes from.
Yeah, always played football, loved it heaps. Yeah, it came from just like all my username on like Snapchat and stuff when I was like 10 years old. It was like Tessie Messie 10. And then everyone started calling me Messie. Even my mum, all my like hometown friends call me Messie. So it just kind of made sense. And then it's got lots of other meanings now. Just like, if your life's a bit messy, it's all good. If you do a mistake, it's okay to be a bit messy, you know, like let loose, get messy. And I think, I've always played football. I've started drumming when I was like 15. Just got obsessed with music when I was 15. I think that like teen angst.
Yeah.
I just stay up late all the time, just practicing stuff, and always done karate. I think that's been something that's taught me perseverance and determination. Always done like tournaments and stuff like that, and got my black belt when I was like 12 years old.
Effort.
So yeah, I've been doing that since I was 7, which is just always like giving me the motivation to not give up. And yeah, I feel like I've always been a pretty introspective kid, just like writing in your diary and stuff like that, and having lots of alone time. And yeah, I've just like it's just kind of built into this thing where I can like mentally do anything if I have to, if I can just like put my mind to it. I do feel like you can, I don't know, if you put your mind to it, you literally can do anything. And I think people don't, like, it sounds so simple, but like literally changing your perspective on things, like something bad goes wrong, instead of being like, oh shit, I missed my flight, or you'd be like, damn, this is just going to be a crazy story to tell. I get to spend more time with my friends here. I can go check out the city. You can make anything positive if you want to. And yeah, just the glass half full, like that's a huge thing that I try to live my life around. And that's before we went on the trip, I just set that as an intention and made sure to say like, just like how you talk affects people, and this is a crazy opportunity, so remember to be grateful for it and view the best in everything. And also I've always lived my life kind of by this quote that luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And I feel like I just am like a sponge. I'm always trying to absorb as much and learn as much as I can. And that moment I was like, I've literally prepared my whole life for this. This is what I've been telling myself for years. And that's why I knew I just had it, because that was the opportunity and I knew I had prepared for it. And I've lived my life through that quote since I was like 12 or something. But yeah.
There you go. It's a true testament and an example of the mindset that you've had throughout your whole childhood and all those experiences shaping up to that opportunity, and you took that opportunity, because it would have been so easy just to not shoot your shot in the DMs and be like, oh nah, someone else will do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like so many Kiwis sort of suffer from that as well. They're like, oh nah, it's all good, we'll let it pass. So just unreal, Tessa. That's awesome. Like, we're all so stoked for you.
Thank you.
And just like so grateful there's a awesome Kiwi like yourself representing us on a world stage, which is just incredible.
It's insane.
So it'd be super cool to see, where you get to next.
Thank you.
We did do like a Q&A on your Instagram. So should we try and hit some of those questions?
Yeah, I'll check it.
Let's see. I'm sure there'll be a few there. For those listening and watching, before the podcast, we didn't. Tessa put up a Instagram story, doing like a Q&A for the potty. So we'll see if there's any questions. Any good ones on there?
Do you want to? Yeah,
show.
Just scroll down. Yeah.
Oh man, there's heaps. Have you got an album or an EP in the works?
I've done an EP for my uni project, my big like major project, which I studied music technology, and it's funny because I actually made an EP based on all of my music friends that I lived with for like 3 years, which is kind of the same concept that Fred has in his actual life albums, and it's when he just takes like little snippets of actual life, and I kind of applied the same thing, and based it on each of the boys that I lived with. And yeah, I've done that, but I don't know if I'll release that because I made it all in like a month. I definitely am going to get on my production grind though, and I've got a few little silly little bootlegs and stuff, like little remixes, but I'm definitely gonna crack on with the production, so there will be some in my lifetime.
You got a pretty captivated audience here. People would love an album or an EP, I reckon. This one's from Rose Linton. How did you learn how to DJ, and how old were you when you started, and how long did it take you to pick it up?
Good question. I learned how to DJ in halls. So my friend Mikey, shout out Mikey, just like my best friend, he's been making his own music since he was like 15 or something. And I was studying music technology and going to all these gigs, and there were so many women and non-binary DJs that I was like, I could so do that. And it also just made sense being a drummer, like it's something that you got to have a bit of rhythm for, just to like make sure you're in time and everything. And he had some decks and I would just practice, and then during lockdown everyone left the halls, and I was just there with. I had to be there, so I had Mikey's decks and just kind of like taught myself a little bit, and I was like 18, I think. So a year later, I bought my own decks, some DDJ 800s, and then from there, I feel like was when I actually started practicing heaps in my room, and then did this little basement set. Shout out basement, always
Shout out.
providing the opportunities for up and coming DJs, and then I went and did that, and then got a bunch of bookings, just local bookings from there.
Awesome. There's heaps here asking. So one from Angela, one from it's me DB, and Trent. They're all asking what's next for you, Messie.
Oh, just lots and lots of shows, and I don't know, actually, it's hard to say, but I'm gonna do whatever I can to have a long lasting career. Yeah.
Man. We've got a few here from people in Perth and Western Australia. So Newton is asking, when are you coming back to Perth, Western Australia for a show? Hopefully soon. And someone else is also just asking, how did you find Perth's concert? We loved you.
Nice. Oh, thanks. There's been so many overwhelming amount of messages asking me to come back to Australia, especially Perth, of course.
It must get quite like left out in Perth, eh?
Yeah, I think it's like the most isolated city in the world. Yeah, poor people, man. But they had that, and I think that was like the biggest show in the history of Perth, or like electronic music in the history of Australasia or something. Which is insane.
Crazy.
But nah, it was literally just the most fun I've ever had. Perth crowd was so much fun. So got so many videos of people just in the mosh dancing with all their mates, and it just all I want is just make people like dance, like let loose and have fun. So yeah, it was awesome.
That's epic. This is a funny one from Taylor Moore. How does it feel to take over Jacinda Ardern's place as NZ's most loved icon?
No way. Oh, no, that's so funny. So many people have been like, "You're a national treasure" and stuff, and it's so weird. It's so weird because after the Spark Arena show, during that show, Fred invited us all on stage, and I was trying to leave, and so many people wanted photos and
crazy,
just would not stop talking to me, and I didn't really know how to say no, so just talking to people, but they were like drunk and everything like that, so that's why I would say no, but it's just so weird, but it's really nice to hear that, but I don't know if that's the case. I actually don't know.
It's a pretty awesome like uprise that you've had. It's crazy. This is from Ruby. Do you feel like you made it? Brackets accomplished a really big goal or dream of yours?
Yeah. Oh well, I don't know if I've. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say if I've made it, because making it would be like knowing I'm locked in for life, that I can like live my dream until I can't. That's like, yeah. But honestly, I think that I don't know if I'll ever reach that peak level of happiness again. So I think I've made it in terms of that. I think it's all not downhill from here, but like, yeah, I'll never be like that. Was just insane. But yeah, don't know.
Crazy.
Lost for words.
What's your biggest takeaway from these past couple of weeks? This is from Carrie.
Anything can happen if you put your mind to it and shoot your shot. And yeah, the worst someone can say is no or not respond, and that might hurt, that initial rejection for a bit, but the more you throw yourself out there, the more is going to start coming back to you. And yeah, like anyone can do anything really. Put your mind to it.
What's your hype song? This is from I Love Hearing McCleary. What a name.
That's my best friend Hallie.
Oh, nice.
Love her. Oh, oh, um, oh, I don't know. I feel like I'm always just trying to find new songs on SoundCloud. Like I'm not really listening to the
It's gonna
same
get
song.
messy.
Yeah,
It's
probably
gonna
that
get
one. Like if I was walking out to like a boxing arena, it's gotta
yeah,
be that.
yeah, like your fight song. What
Yeah,
would your fight song be? Would it be
I'd
that?
probably be that.
Yeah, nice. That'd be pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you create new tunes while DJing when there's so much already out there?
How do you create new tunes? Um, do they mean what? I'm not
I
sure.
don't know. I guess like what
Like
is your
producing.
process DJing? How do you like do your own creative flair with your DJ
Oh
sets?
yeah, yeah. I've kind of got like a little process for it that I just think about. I don't really know the actual process, but always trying to put in little breaks for people to, regain their cool when they're just dancing so hard. Making sure that, but also like I'm big on just like coming out with energy and knowing like just setting the tone that this is about to be like you're about to just sweat. Like I get so sweaty. And like having a good amount of sing-alongs because I love singing and just like singing with your friends, and I know it's important to lots of the general public. Like if they're dancing, it's good to chuck in some sing-alongs.
100%.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of like I guess like brings me into the more mainstream side of it, to be able to do stuff like that with Fred, who is like pretty mainstream DJ. But also just having selections that are like you wouldn't know where to find it. I think that's what surprises some people when you come to a set and stuff. You're just like, oh, like where do you even find this?
Yeah.
Lots of people have asked me track IDs all the time.
Yeah, the deep throes of SoundCloud,
yeah.
eh?
Yeah.
Cool. We'll do last one here. This is from Jared, and then there's heaps there if you want to reply these on Instagram or something. This is from Jared. Are you going to publish your set from Perth, or at least that Lil Uzi Vert ditty?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was probably the thank you. The song that went off probably the most was this Lil Uzi Vert like jungle remix kind of thing. And yeah, I think it was like the Kanye West his Carnival song. Do you know the one? Yeah, that was towards the end of the set. And then they just happened to be in key, that song and the Woozy song. And I just like, I don't know, like I remember making that blend at home just in my bedroom, and I was like, this is going to go insane. And then like when I feel that, I know that in the moment I'm going to react to it with conviction. And yeah, I think there was lots of like rap fans and stuff like that. So yeah, but anyway, I got given the multi stems and footage of the show, so I will definitely publish it somewhere. Probably SoundCloud, but also just like having the video, it's pretty good, and I could probably chuck it on YouTube. Yeah.
Hard out, they'll go off.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. We'll finish up with some quick fire questions, and then we'll just end on a quote.
Okay.
Yeah, just again, Tessa, want to say thanks so much for jumping on.
Thank you.
So cool connecting with you. Feel really stoked that you jumped on the podcast. I thought your DMs would have been absolutely swarmed. So appreciate you getting back to me, and yeah, just all the best. Super proud of you, eh?
Thank you so much.
What brings you true happiness?
Music.
Advice you wish you knew about when you were younger?
Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to quick fire these. Probably being yourself.
What does legacy mean to you?
Educating anyone you can in good ways.
Nice. If you could change one thing in New Zealand, what would this be?
Tall poppy syndrome.
Amen. What do you believe is the main thing that's holding back young people in New Zealand?
Tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Awesome. And we'll finish up with a quote. This is from Jackson Brown Jr. I'd be lying if I said I know who this person is, but I thought it was good. Opportunity dances with those who are already on the dance floor. Cheers, Tessa.
Thank you so much. It's a great quote.